Hello everybody, my name's Atsiri. Today's my very first video that I'm going to be doing with a voiceover. I'm going to be working on this little sketch that I did yesterday that's for a commission, and I'm just going to kind of talk about the process and maybe some other stuff about myself since no one really knows what's up. This is technically officially my first video. I have a couple of speed paints up already on my channel, but they're kind of old so I don't really count them. So real quick, I showed in the very beginning the sketch that I did yesterday. I used my color erase, colored pencils, the erasable ones from Prismacolor to draw it, and then I just used a regular mechanical pencil to do the outlines. And now I scanned it, and now I'm doing the outline digitally. My printer, thankfully, has waterproof ink. Well, actually, I don't think it's waterproof, but it's Copic proof. I can use my Copics on it just fine and it doesn't smudge. There's very few times that it does smudge, but I've noticed that it's depending on what colors I use that it smudges. So here it is finished. I did not record putting the little background. They're little macaroons and I thought it was really cute. I turned off the recording before remembering to do that. So but yeah, now I'm coloring it. The marker that I'm using here, the green one, I did not know that Copic even made regular bullet nibs, so this really big fat one is a bullet nib. Unfortunately, I went, and I usually go and buy refills, which we'll talk more about later in this video, because something happened with the refills. But they, for some reason, did not have a refill for this specific color that I'm using here. Which is fine. I just grabbed this one. I'm like, oh, this one's extra big. That maybe if it's extra big, you know, it won't dry as quickly. But I didn't notice that it was bullet nib, which isn't a problem. I mean, it still lays down pretty flat, I think, so not too splotchy or anything. I do really like this drawing, though. My style keeps kind of like going back and forth, but it always ends up looking like this. Sometimes it gets really, really cute and chibi, and sometimes it gets a little more cartoony, but it always somehow ends up going back to this, so I guess this is kind of my style if that's the case. I'm not really sure. You can't tell when stuff is mine though, so at least that's good. I guess I do have the little, what would you call it, personal touch. But here, okay, with this marker, this, I guess you'd call that maroon. I think it's called cardinal red or something like that. I go to refill it, and I don't know why I have such an issue with this, but I accidentally keep refilling my markers way too much, to the point where they start dripping on all my stuff. So there you see me, you know, I'm scratching off as much color as I can so it doesn't drip on my thing. I actually end up pausing the video at one point and putting it back, which I think I did here, because whenever I end up, it's actually the reason why I started to outline them digitally is because that way if I mess up, I can just print out another one. I don't have to do the outline all over again. Is because since I have accidentally been refilling my markers way too much, I had issues where there's big drips, like huge droplets of Copic marker, like Copic juice, that just kind of falls onto my drawing and just ruins the whole thing, and oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate having to do it again. I mean, I have a light box and everything, it's not horrible, but having to do all that work all over again is just, ugh, hate it. But yeah, I had some trouble with the refills, and this time around, I think I've finally learned my lesson. But yeah, here I'm just shading. I actually just recently started shading with colors instead of just gray like I used to, or with like similar colors. So instead of using like, let's say the green and then the darker green, I've started to use like purples, pinks, blues. It all depends on the character and what colors they got. I always end up gravitating towards the purple. I don't know, I just like the way it looks. Putting that shine in, putting the white down is my favorite. And it's all finished. It's all done. The only thing that I have left to do now is to put my signature on the bottom. So I'm using my Copic outliner, my Copic liner pen, I should say, not outliner. Putting my signature in, and I usually put the date too because I like to know when I did things. So here I'm just checking the date on my watch, which my mom got me for Christmas. Thank you, Mom. And yeah, this is the finished piece. I really hope that they like it. I haven't sent it to them yet. And it's all done. I do have commissions open. I will put a link in the description of the prices. And thank you for watching again. Have a nice day. Bye!